All right. So turn your Bibles with me. Let's begin where our brother ended on Wednesday, Nehemiah chapter number 1, and give me verse number 9. Promise we take it up from there today. Nehemiah 1:9. But if you turn unto me and keep my commandments and do them, though they were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet will I gather them from thence and bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Give it to me in the NIV and other translations. Let's read from other translations. NIV. But if you return to me and obey my commands, then even if you exile people are at the farthest horizon, I will gather them from there and bring them to the place I have chosen as a dwelling for my name. Say after me this morning, there's a place he has chosen as a dwelling for you. I'll say for me. There is a place he has chosen as my dwelling for his name's sake. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know how excited I am reading this and studying around this bringing this to you, it's exciting to know that there's a place that God has chosen for me. But then if you turn back to me and do what I've commanded you, I will bring you back to the place where I have chosen to be worshipped. This translation says, even though you are scattered to the hands of the earth. It doesn't matter how scattered you are. There's a place chosen, exclusively reserved for you. As I read this, it reminds me of the experience of the children of Israel when they came to the land of Egypt. Coming down to Egypt made them discover a place already exclusively reserved for them called Goshen. Do you know the meaning of Goshen, by the way? Do you know the meaning of Goshen? Huh? Goshen means place of plenty, comfort, and abundance. If that is true concerning the physical Israel, I want you to know that the same is true concerning you and I. There is a place that, has been chosen for you to dwell, to operate from. The place that will give you rest roundabout. Like Goshen in Egypt. The amazing to know that there is that place even as we are talking this morning. Exclusively different in experience for every one who locates it in the midst of that which is going on in our land and nation. A place exclusively chosen for you. God is so mindful of you and I. That's why the Bible says, what is man that you are so mindful of him? One songwriter said, like a rose trampled on the sand, you took before, and they thought of who? Who above. Is symbolic of a land that is described to be fertile, prosperous, and secure. Three things symbolizes that chosen place for the children of Israel: fertility, prosperity, and security. So the place where God's people lived that was near to him. Even though yet in Egypt, there's a place, my friend, that you can dwell, even in the midst of what is going on that is so close to God. Same vein that Egypt was Egypt, but in Egypt there was a place so near to God. That's the place that is exclusively reserved for you and I, my friend, where your testimony will be different from that of every other person that are inhabitants of this nation. God there secured their welfare and prevented the evil that was in their world to come near them. A place where God secretly hides his own. And I want to talk about two things that will help you to access that place this morning. Number one, your mindset will determine your accessibility to this place. Remember, I said the symbol of that land is fertility, which is very important. This morning, I'd like to ask you, do you have a fertility mindset or a futility mindset? Ephesians chapter number 4, verse number 17. Ephesians 4:17. And I'd like to read from verse number 17 down to 23. Verse Ephesians 4:17. This I say, therefore, give it to me in New King James. This I say, therefore, quickly, and testify in the Lord that you should no longer walk as the rest of the Gentiles walk, in the what? Futility of their mind, having their understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their hearts, who being past feeling have given themselves over to lewdness, to walk all uncleanness with greediness. But you have not learned so, of Christ. If indeed you have heard him and have been thought of him as the truth is in Christ, that you put off concerning your former conduct the old man which goes corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. What does it mean to have a futility mindset? Because this is one major thing that will prevent people from entering that place that has been exclusively reserved for them. What's the meaning of futility? Help me. What did you discover? Huh?
Mindset of failure.
Mindset of failure. Pointless. Careless. What's other one? Fruitlessness. Such mindset, nothing can grow and germinate in it. Why? Because it does not, listen to me very well this morning, because it does not even have capacity to conceive anything. No idea, no ideology, no vision can be conceived there because of the futility of the mindset. Many of us get involved in pointless arguments, pointless activities that is not pointer taking you anywhere. And many times that's what we engage ourselves in. All our energy is deployed there, discussing carelessly and things that is not taking you anywhere. Have you seen people talk about Nigeria and what is going on? And before you know it, you plug in yourself, your energy is gone, the whole day is gone, and you look back, what have you achieved today? All exercise in what? Futility. Make up your mind this day, minus me. Anything that is of futility, because it can drain you, weary you, and you can be cumbered with it. And why that is going on? Because nothing can grow, nothing tangible can grow from it. You just be going round and round the same circle, and you'll be clueless about what to do, even about the situation and circumstances that surround you, because you've engaged yourself in too much futility. But on the other side, you can have a fertility mindset, whereby things grow, whereby there's productivity, ability to conceive and become fruitful, a rich mind that is profitable, and it connotes an ability to retain abundance. Is your mind fertile? Can heaven drop ideas concept, innovation, creative ingenuity in your mind, or is full of futility? How rich is your soul? Because that will determine the nature of things that will invade your heart and that will come to you as concept that you can embrace, run with, and give yourself to. Huh? No ṣe tún ti gbọ́. Hey. Obìnrin not to know kó jẹ again. And the next 4 or 5 hours of your life, even as you are sharing, that's the video you are sharing, that's what they are sharing, that's, hey. You don't know what the devil is doing to many people in this season. From such, run away. Don't let them invade your heart. Are you following me? Let them give account themselves. Let your heart be so rich and exclusively preserved and reserved for heaven to invade in this season and time. Told you several years ago, the best time for believers to prosper is in the time of famine, because it will tell them what to do. They will know exactly what to do, and when they do, the testimony will be different. But an heart and mind that is full of futility can conceive nothing. All kinds of manner of things will just be going around there like, fly, trafficking over your mind. And you look at the whole day, you have not had one minute of meaningful thinking, productive and fruitful thinking. Your mind becomes like that radio presentation. Ìjẹ́ ti gbọ́ pé kidney, when they drop that, ìjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́, how do you respond? Pé kí tún ni o? Is that how you want to live your life? And you keep now searching for the latest and the trending news. Whereas there's a place where you can dwell, that you are so near to God to hear Him accurately. Every time we're coming to church, because of the distance, you never, either consciously or unconsciously, because I know I'm not driving fine to the road, I don't use seat belts. I'm not saying don't use seat belts. All right? As we came out, we're coming to, where were we coming? Bible, no. Was it Bible? Prayer meeting on Friday. I just pulled my belt and I used my belt. And my wife looked at me and said, Huh? You're using your belt. I said, yes, the Lord said I should. We're just driving from the house to church. Can you hear him that accurately and that precisely? You know? And we kept driving. Suddenly I just busted into the hands of road safety officers. I looked at her. Since I've been driving on this road, in the last, I don't think in the last 5 or 4 months, I've seen road safety officer on that road. Huh? I'm telling you what prompted this message. That you can be in this nation and allow yourself to be completely overwhelmed and not hear God. And yet you can also dwell in a place where you hear Him accurately every inch, every step that you take. Listen to me. When your mind is so full of futility, it denies you access. But when your heart and mind is so fertile, consistently, your life is enriched by heaven's invasion. And it puts you to a place where you dwell that you know that God is so near. And there'll be no anxiety, there'll be no, you just know ahead what is about to happen. Is somebody listening to me? And that's your first access to that place that He has exclusively reserved for you. Imagine the children of Israel not knowing what to do. Because do you know the famine was all over the land? Huh? Why didn't they why were they not affected? Because you think they were receiving from Joseph every day? Huh? It was because of their mindset. Number two, very quickly this morning. The way God sees you must also be the way you see yourself. Many times there's variance between the way God sees us and the way we see ourselves. How do you see yourself? When you look at the mirror, who do you see? Huh? Fine girl, Solomon's wife. Who do you see? How does God sees those children of Israel in the midst of that family? How did He see them? Question: how did they also see themselves? And you know that what they did that brought them there, if that had also continually stayed with them and they've lived in guilt and not, they will not be productive. They also will have been as futile as you can ever imagine, unproductive and fruitless. That way, all the days of their life, what they did to Joseph was what they are always talking about. Go read Genesis again. You will see how, from onset, he began to engage them. Engaging their talents as shepherds. Because many times, hey, one small thing happens like this. Egbeleri, before you know it, ọdún mẹ́wàá, ẹ sì ṣe kí ni? Ẹ sì gbélérí. And it now makes your heart become fruitless and futile. Instead of him being fruitful. What has happened to you that has not happened to people before? That you have not moved on from. Can I announce to you today that certain things you're still talking about are pointless? When I mean pointless, they are not taking you, they are not pointing any meaningful direction to you. Stop it! What's the point? Dwelling is the place and he that are pointless. You just want to continue to be unfruitful. If you have never heard anyone say this to you, hear it from me this morning. Does it worth all these years you have wasted on this matter? On this issue? Instead of allowing your life to be so enriched and becoming fertile for God. To put stuffs in that will change your life, change your family, change the society. Ideas. So what do you see? Believe me, engaging in activities that are pointless is useless. But what use is this is the question that we must always ask ourselves, of what use is this? Get rid of this mindset that can conceive nothing. And after that, you must be able to see as God sees. When God looks at you, who does he see? Then he looked at Gideon. Just Judges chapter number 6, give me from verse 11. Let me take one or two examples, then I'll close. Judges 11, give me from verse 11. Judges 6, rather. Give me from verse 11. There's no Judges in your book. Now the angel of the Lord came and sat under the terebinth tree, which was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite. While his son Gideon threshed wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you." Watch this. "You mighty man of who?" What do you think? When he had that, what do you think he did? Like many of us, what will you do? Is there somebody here that is talking? True of us. But that's what God sees. That's who God is saying. Yes. Gideon said unto him, "O my Lord, if the Lord be with us." Is that what God said? Was that what God just said? Huh? What was it that the Lord just said to him? Gideon, God is with you. What did Gideon say? Is he talking about you or us? God had mercy on him here. He will have entered into futility. Is that what God was talking about? Did he say the Lord is with all of you? You, not us. Is somebody listening to me? Because sometimes you think that you have heard God, you have not heard him the way you're supposed to hear him. And by the time you speak next, you know that you have not heard anything. But the Lord is with you, Gideon. Gideon said, if the Lord is with us, who is talking about us here? Oh my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all his miracles which our father told us about? Saying, God is talking to you, talking about, Goshewa Nigeria, Lord, we don't even know what is going on. Who is talking about Nigeria? He's talking about you. You. Bring you to a place in the midst of this that is exclusively reserved for you, that you need to begin to access in the midst of all this. And where are all the miracles which our fathers told us about, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. The Lord turned to him and said, go in this your what? Your might. And you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not what? You, not us. Have I not sent you? So he said to the Lord, oh my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is what? Who is talking about you? God was talking about who? Him, Gideon. Lord, who is talking about today to Tijade? Huh? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I'm the least in my father's what? God said this man is a man of valor. This man is saying what? I'm the least, I'm the weakest in my father's house. My family is the weakest. How do you assess where God is taking you and where He has exclusively reserved for you? If you do not see yourself the way God sees you, if you say there's a place that I've exclusively kept for you for such a time as this, you say, I'm in Nigeria, Lord, ebi power. Igboro ti dàrú. There is pressure ti wà, gbogbo fídíò yẹn lè náà rí, pressure ti wà. And he's talking about you. O dẹ̀ gbé gbogbo pressure Nigeria gbé lórí pressure ti wà. So how do you access what he has? The same was true. Concerning Saul. Read it when you get home, 1 Samuel chapter number 9. When he went to visit Samuel, and Samuel made him realize that all eyes are on you. You are the one we have been waiting for. As a matter of fact, there's a place high there that we have reserved for you. Your portion, I've kept it since yesterday. Did you know about it? Did you know there's a place that is supposed to be meeting? That high place, exclusively reserved for his sons. He said, have you forgotten the Benjamins? Our tribe is the what? My father's house, even in Benjamin, is the least. Even me. Why do you think they said I should be looking for goats? I'm the least. But yes, God said, you are the king, the commander, and the leader of my people. Is somebody listening to me? It gets worse. You go to Numbers, when Moses sent out the spies to go check out the land of Canaan. 12 of them went. 10 came with an evil report. Are you listening to me? Have you read what they said? Let me show you something that among what they said that is still baffling to me. And I want you to analyze it with me. Numbers chapter number 13. Let's read that at least. Numbers 13. Give me from verse 17 or so. Numbers 13, quickly. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said to them, go up this way into the south and go up to the mountains. Next verse. And see what the land is like, whether the people who dwell in it are strong or weak, few or many. Whether the land they dwell in is good or bad. Whether the cities they inhabit are like camps or strongholds. Whether the land is rich or poor. And whether there are forests there or not. Be of good cheer and bring some of the fruit of the land. If the land is not fruitful, why would they bring some of the fruit? Now the time was the season of the first grape. Next verse. So they went. Say they went. They went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Sin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron. Heman, Sheshan, and Talmah, the descendants of Hanak, were there. Now Hebrew was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. Then they came to the valley of Eshcol, and there cut down a branch with a cluster of grapes. They carried it between two of them on one pole. Two people carried one bunch. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. Next. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster which the men of Israel called that fruitful place. Abundant, full of abundance, plenty. Let's keep reading. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and Hur and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness at Paran, at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, we went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey. And this is the proof. This is the fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there, giants. And the Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. And the Canaanites dwell by the sea, along the banks of the Jordan. Is that not a confirmation? Huh? These were the lands that he has already spoken about, even long before they were born, that their father was going to inherit. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once, because he can see the way they were going. Futility. Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men who had gone with him said, we are not able to go up against these people, for they are stronger than we. Kí ló fi measure? And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied, saying, watch this, the land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devour is what? Stop. How many people did they watch being devoured by the land? If the land devours in its inhabitants, how the giants go there? They will all have been devoured. Eaten up by the land. And not allowed anything to go there. But the land was fruitful. If you read down, they now began to talk about themselves being like what? Grasshoppers. They were like grasshoppers before them. Even the people looked at us. As if maybe they call them grasshoppers. No. It was in their what? Mindset. If you don't see yourself the way God sees you, you can access this place that has been exclusively reserved for you. Like this land has been exclusively reserved for them. Did they enter? No. Because of the way they see yourself. How do you see yourself this morning? Thomas Edison will have seen himself as a failure. Haven't tried to, invent the electric bulb. First time, second time, third time. How many times did he invariably get it right? After the 1,000th time, they said, Oga, what happened? I took you this. He said, I just discovered 999 ways in which the board cannot be fixed. One more attempt, and that was it. I didn't fail 99 times. He said, no. I just discovered 99 times in which the thing cannot what? Work. As a matter of fact, it became 99 steps to what? Creating the electric bulb. How do you see what is going on around you? There's the way God sees, my friend. And that's the way you must begin to see yourself. So you can begin to assess this place that is exclusively reserved for you. Stand to your feet. When you look at the mirror, who do you see in the morning? A struggler? Or you're a day closer to your Goshen? To the place that is exclusively reserved for you. There's a place waiting for you, my friend. Here this morning. And I'm coming there. I don't know about you. I'm coming. I'm coming with a fertile mind. A mindset that is able to conceive, to process, to be productive. Not engaging in pointless, useless, careless arguments, exercise in futility. Stop wasting your time in futility. Let those who want to do that be quiet and be doing that. Open your heart to the richness that is in God. Let Him become so near to you in the midst of the noise that is going on even in our city. Your testimony can be different. What is man that thou so mindful of him? That in the midst of this that is going on in our nation, you are still talking to us this way. This way, that there's a place that is exclusively reserved for me and you. Come up hither! That's what I'm hearing Him saying to you. Come up to that place where your souls can be so enriched, invaded with ideas that will bring resources that you can ever imagine or thought possible into your hands. So it can become useful in the hand of the Lord, having passion for the kingdom and compassion for people. Even your resources is speaking in that direction. Fill my cup, Lord. I leave it out unto you, Lord. For mankind, the testing of my soul, bread of heaven. Fill me till I want no more. Let my life and my soul be enriched. Let it become fertile for you, a ground that you can invade, a ground that you can deposit ideas, and all manner of things that will enrich my generation unto. Thank you, Father. Give you praise and glory, Lord. Worship and exalt you, Lord. In Jesus' name.